going into the wedding this weekend pretty stressed out. I mean, you have your regular stresses that come with weddings, trying to please everybody. Even though it's your special day, you should be able to do whatever you want on your special day. But it's not. So they were all stressed out going into the weekend, not really about the planning, but what was going to happen at the after party, because they both had two different versions of what should happen after the wedding.
Yes, sir. So they've been together for 2 years, and they were getting married in a couple of days. And the problem is they have a bunch of friends coming in that they haven't seen for years, college friends, old friends, family friends. And so she wanted to have a traditional wedding in every sense of the word, except for the after party. She didn't want it to be just the two of them to run off, because she felt like then that wouldn't have been enough time to have been spent with her friends and family. So she wanted to have an after party where everybody would be involved, since it's kind of like a few times a lifetime kind of a thing. But her husband wasn't feeling that. He wanted to run off and just be the two of them. And she's like, listen, we've been playing piano for years. This is not like we have to go and do it for the first time kind of traditional thing. So she didn't get why it was such a big deal to him. And her maid of honor was coordinating the party as she was like talking to us. And so she was trying to figure out what she decided to do.
So all he wanted to do is, like, after the wedding is, all right, we'll go around, we'll say hey to everybody, but then we got to consummate this thing. So and she's like, what? I mean, we got the rest of our life.
They wanted to do, or he wanted to do the reception and then just bounce back to the hotel room.
Right.
Yep.
And she wanted to go and hang out with friends.
I think you said on Friday, well, you got a whole bunch of people coming from different places. Maybe you should hang out with them a little bit more. Maybe Cassie said that.
Yeah, because I wasn't here.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. so I'm guessing it was Cassie.
Yes, it was. And that's what we did for our wedding. We had the ceremony, we had the reception, and then we had everybody meet at the bar. Bart and I went for our first date, and we all had a drink at the bar.
Right.
And then Bart and I bounced from the bar, and everybody stayed. And
right.
So it was like a mini late night. And Cassie, I think you all did the same thing, right?
Yeah, there wasn't much transportation where I got married. There was like one mama's cab service with one cab. So we all somehow managed to make it to the same like Irish pub, where there were actually two other weddings there as well, which was kind of fun. So you had three brides in their dresses, and everyone's like buying shots for each other and getting drunk and stapling money to the walls randomly. But yes, basically yes.
And on my wedding night way back in the day, we were going to try both. We were going to hang out with everybody. It's going to be a big old party. You know what? We'll go and we'll hang out with everybody that came from out of town, and then you know what, at the end of the night we'll go do our thing, right? First part of the night happened great. Second part of the night, shut out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I only took comfort in like reading like statistics show that 1/3 of couples don't even like hook up with each other on their wedding night.
Oh,
really? That don't surprise me.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you either do it or you get drunk. There's
very little in between.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. So what happened over the weekend? We have an email update here. Shockingly, she says, even after all of you seem to agree with me, he still refused to give in to the idea of going to an after party after the reception. I was so upset. I had so much fun and did not want the reception to end. So when we started getting closer to the end, I started begging him again to go to the after party with me. I'm begging my husband, please go to the after party. I was on such a high from seeing so many of my friends and family. It was also so cool to see cousins who had never met my college friends, hanging out with them and having a blast. Hate to say it, but the fact that he refused made me feel so resentful, and I didn't want to feel that way on my wedding night. So part of me considered just going without him. However, I knew that would not be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't pick friends over my new husband. That would be strange. Like, you're at an after party and she shows up and he's nowhere to be found. You're like, what is going on?
That's how the marriage is going to go?
Right. I was in such a bad mood because of it, but I tried so hard not to let it show. Last thing I wanted to do was to fight with him on our wedding night. Unfortunately, he could tell that I was upset about it and made him angry that I would rather be with my friends than with him. So despite my best efforts to avoid conflict, I failed and we fought on their wedding night.
Wow.
He ended up telling me just to go without him. I shouldn't have, but I did. I wish I hadn't because I ended up having a terrible time since I was so upset. Luckily, nobody could tell. Had a few drinks and then went back to the hotel. He was already asleep. In the morning when I woke up, he was still angry that I had left. I felt bad and tried to apologize. He agreed to forgive me, but he still seems upset about it. Things are just off with us. I need to figure it out on how we get past this. This is not how we should be spending the first few days of our marriage.
No.
You think?
I don't get why this was such a big deal to him. Like, he must not like any of their family or friends or something. Why wouldn't he just go for a few hours?
Or not even like an hour.
Yeah.
Like literally there, like that to me seemed like the compromise. Like, okay, she really wants to go. You don't want to go. So just go for an hour and then go back to the hotel room.
Now, Tommy has said that he is the wedding whisperer. He can see a couple because he has played a lot of receptions, and he feels like he can look at a couple, see the way they interact, and tell if they're going to make it or not.
I absolutely can. Between being married so many years, having DJ'd so many weddings, and my wife performing so many ceremonies, I can see them coming down the aisle and say, you might as well do a U-turn because this ain't going to work.
That thing go.
Would you say in this case this is U-turn material, or is this just a one-offer?
This is a 98% U-turn
right?
material.
Yes. You're not the only one saying that. I have a feeling that most people maybe at the wedding were saying the same thing.
No.
Come on.
You don't think they hit it well? She claims nobody could tell.
Yeah, in her mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks. That is a really crappy wedding night right there.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get a lot more of The Bert Show for free on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.